This is being recorded as a tutorial on how to send and create NFTs. So first I'm going to be sending you your main admin asset. Do you have your FOXD wallet?
You need my address?
Yep. You go to receive. These are the ones that you've already requested down here.
Mm.
So these are all the wallet addresses I've ever requested. And if you want a brand new one, you click request payment. And the address is
And then
here.
you do okay.
You can click the copy address button too, and it'll copy to your clipboard. All right, I got it. Okay, so when you have someone's FOXDcoin address, you can send them either coins, NFTs, or an administrative asset that you control. So I own EJ NFT. This is transferring the administrator asset. Let me find it again. I think it wasn't happy about that. You have to select that first, I should say. This has an exclamation mark at the end of it that signifies that it's the administrator asset, or like your at tag, like EJ NFT. This is your validity that you are the genuine creator of the NFT.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna send it to your FOXD address. I'm gonna just double check it matched with a J, FP, and a J. So that's clean. Label, that should be good. Transferring it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's being sent to you now.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, great. I'm glad it showed up already.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the asset, a main asset, and go from the beginning, and then work with you basically on a copy asset, so you can recreate it yourself either during or after the video's done, you know, like with me on this. So in this case, if I wanted to create your NFT, which I made the first time, it was EJ NFT. If I check the main asset, that one's already in use because I just sent it to you, so you can't recreate the same one. But what I can do is I can recreate EJ NFT. This would be tutorial. So we'll check this. This should be available. I'm gonna just take the IPFS out. There won't be anything, it's just a test. So there won't be an image associated with it. There'll just be a test for this. If I wanted, we could put an IPFS link in here out of IPFS, and it would associate an image with the main asset.
Okay.
And we're not gonna do that just for the sake of the video or the time to just show you, because this is your NFT thing anyway. So I'm creating this main asset for tutorial purpose. And then I'm gonna go to my desktop where this is your NFT collection. Memory remains that has 12 NFTs in it. So we have IPFS open. Are you with me on this one here?
Yes.
So you're gonna.
Yeah, let me open the IPFS. Okay. I'm in. Okay. IPFS. Yep.
Okay, great. You're gonna drag your folder that had those 12 images directly into IPFS, and it's gonna show up in there and as a folder. And in the folder will be all of the images associated that you've created with their own CID.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go back into FOXD wallet. To clarify, a sub asset would be if you wanted image number 1 to be sold 100 times, you would make a sub asset.
Okay.
And if you wanted image 1 to only be able to be sold 1 time, you would make it a unique asset. The difference being supply and demand, that 1 is harder to obtain than 100.
Then 100, yeah, okay. Okay, I see what you mean.
And that's up to the user or you. If you would like, you could make a unique asset for each of the images, or you would probably try to stay consistent and say like, oh, I want to make 5 of these images each, and that would give you a sub asset where you would sell 5 of 5, and then once they all sold out, you'd have 0 of 5 left, and each user would have 1 or 2 or however many they bought until 5 were gone.
They're bought, yeah. And then the sub asset, you could do multiple. Okay, so I would do for that one. I would do a sub asset, and like, yeah, sub asset. Yeah,
Okay.
that'll work.
So we're gonna do a sub asset, and it's gonna be for EJ NFT tutorial, and the sub asset would be called memory remains.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to basically identify each of them then, and you'll have to say memory remains. There's different ways you could have an or you can't do that. You could have 001. And that would
that's
that would indicate that would be like 01 on your image. And by doing that, when you create the IPFS tag in here, when you click here and copy the CID, you can see that it's on number 1 already. So you're going to stay in order here, and because this isn't very identifiable, you'll know that it's right because of the number system that you've set up to kind of help guide you in creating them.
okay.
You have to check the availability, and it's valid. Now, the sub asset does cost more. It costs 100 FOXD to make instead of 5. But you're totally allowed to. And you can change the quantity here. So we're going to want to make 5 of them, right? Or how many do you want? You can make as many as you want.
Yeah, and for each one you have to pay the 100 FOXD.
Just once for this asset, but you can make as many of this asset as you want.
Okay, so it's a one-time fee. Okay.
Exactly. So you can make 500 or 1,000, but it only costs 100. But these are things before you create your collection to kind of think about as a framework for them.
Okay, yeah.
Because that will help provide value too. Because if the collection's messy and there's 5 of this, 100 of this, and 45,000 of this one, you can do that if there's like a framework for it. I'm gonna create this, and there's gonna be 100 of them under this test, and it's gonna be called memory remains number 001. In this test, I'm also gonna show you the other ways to do it. Because remember, you're gonna be making them, but this will just be for test. And then I'll show you how to burn an NFT that you accidentally created if you end up making a duplicate, or if you need to for some reason. So I should have that created, and there would be, let me see my overview here. It might take a second for that to show up in my balance, because it's got to populate through the chain, but you can see it transacted.
Okay.
So we'll go to create again. So okay, so now you know how to make the sub asset where there was 100 of that one image available to sell. We learned that you have to install the file into IPFS, take the CID, and put it into the add IPFS area at the time that it's necessary for the transaction based on what you're making. Next, we have to just show you the unique asset. If you had decided that you only wanted to make one, just a separate way or alternative ways of making the NFT and why. So this isn't exactly...
the dress that I'm making that dress unique.
Okay,
so that
great.
would be the unique asset.
Yep, so you do have unique asset in mind for the future.
Yes, I do.
Okay. In this example, you would pretend that the next one will be a dress. We'll get to that point. just show you the unique asset in general. So in your unique tag here, there's only so much room that you can add before you run out of space. So that does kind of, yours is much shorter, by the way, so you'll have a lot more characters than my tutorial one. So the shorter this is, the better, and that's why I made yours so short. Right, so we have the unique asset, and we'll call this one, I will just keep it on memory remains. This, when you have a unique asset, you can do lowercase, if you notice that.
Yeah, I see that.
So this would be the way that I would have done the unique asset on your main tag.
Okay.
Because this is the, like, there's only so much length that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And then in your next collections, if you wanted to do a summer dress, like if you had summer dresses and winter dress,
Mm-hmm.
you could do summer dress 001 for a unique, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it would give you a systematic way to quickly create all of your NFTs under that unique asset structure. And as you're creating them, you just put the CID for each of them that you've put an IPFS in there.
Okay.
Do you have any questions so far?
No, it's pretty intuitive, yeah.
For this main asset, we'll call it meme 2022. So we create the main asset. I think that, no. Okay, let's say we want to create that into our own token ecosystem on this chain.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to the sub asset on memecoin 2022 and create the sub asset, and we would just call it memecoin. And if we wanted, we could have 25,000 meme coins. And this unit here allows you to say how divided the coin can be after the 1 decimal place. So in this case, I only want there to be an individual coin sent. I don't want there to be a fraction of this token. So then I could go into the IPFS. I already have one called meme coin in here, so I'll just use that as the example. I think it's in here. Yeah, here it is. So I just know where everything is, I guess. So there's the CID for that. I'll check the availability. It's available. So once I create this under a sub asset for meme 2022, it's going to create 25,000 of those tokens that I can send 1 of to somebody or 2 of to somebody, or as many as I want. So we'll create that. And that should have created that token on the platform, which it just did. There it is. This is the original meme coin I made, so that one does exist. There it is. Boom. 25,000 meme coins, if you see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could take your address and send you 1 of them, but I'm not going to because, oh, it turns out I already made meme coin in the past, so now I want to actually burn it. So in order to burn it, we can go to the FOXDcoin Discord and go into the links, and in here there's going to be an official burn address. And that's going to be right here. It's the global coin asset burner.
Mhm.
And you can pay that to the burn address, including the administrator asset, I believe. I'd start with that one and say, oops, I accidentally made this and I already had it before, and you're not really supposed to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to send that to the burner address.
So when you send it, it burns the.
It's going to take this token and make it inaccessible to anybody, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
So what the burn address is, and these coins too, I'm going to send those off to the burn address. And this does not have a private key in this burn address. This is a manufactured address by the coin wallet that nobody can ever get to. And anytime an asset is created, those FOXD coins are sent to a burn address, and they're technically considered burn anytime you make an asset. Something distinguishable I didn't mention is that if you make it under a unique asset, it's not redistributable. So if you create an asset, you'll see it's called, reissuable, how it's checked on or off.
Yeah.
If you have this checked on, you can edit the main asset yourself, and you can go in there and change it. And if you have it off, once it's made, it can't be changed.
Okay.
So, but a unique asset, you can't select this as reissuable. It's always, it can never be changed. But for a sub asset, when you create them, you could change it. So these are technically a security built within the decentralized crypto.